A lot has happened. It's been a very, very busy month. I've had a lot of private lessons I've been doing. So let's just get to this. Um, Starting to get a lot better at my tumbling passes. I'm off and on with this kind of stuff. So long as I continue to work on my twisting separately, and I don't overdo it or get ahead of myself during training, I usually do pretty good. So overall, it's been a pretty good experience. Getting back this kind of skill set, around up back, handspring back full, but it's off and on, and I need to work a lot on my form. Some days things are going really well, some days things don't go so well, like right here, my back fulls were just really horrible, so to speak, and yeah, I crashed on this one right here. So, it's just, I'm going to be working with some people to help me be more consistent with my tumbling, but that's where I am with that. Occasionally I work on this human flag every now and then. I want to be able to get that back, and I haven't done a whole lot of work with it, but with all the handstand training I'm doing and aerial work, it's kind of coming along on its own. But anyway, moving on from that, all the partner acrobatic stuff I've been doing with my wife has been pretty good. We're getting more consistent with the new shapes we're working on, and that's really exciting to me because it's like we really want to become a competitive acro balance couple and work really well in aerial as well. And we're really putting in the hours to do this. It takes a long time to be consistent with these moves, and we're not the typical couple. Like I said, we're both similar height, and it's just, it's harder that way, but we're making it work. We finally got ourselves to do this standing one person on top of the other deal, and we were actually working this day on dropping down and learning how to fall off of from this position so that we feel comfortable with it. It's not easy being the flyer, and so I commend my wife for doing that, especially considering it's not something that she was traditionally trained in for that kind of stuff. So it's not easy stuff to do. Here's us doing a forward dismount. Actually, no, this isn't it. That's the next one after this. Sorry. Right here is a forward dismount just to see what it's like to jump off forward. If you don't ever train dismounts or learning how to fall off of your movements, then you're kind of doing yourself a disservice because you never know what it's like. Hopefully one day I'll be able to do this press that I'm working on, but I have a lot of training I still have to do with that. I was really excited about this one right here where we're doing a hand-to-hand. This eventually will be from standing, but we're trying to get comfortable with this position so that I can do hand-to-hand with her above me. It's not easy stuff. And here's a nice little just upward shot perspective of when we do the neck-to-neck balance. And you can see the just an interesting angle, and it's not always as smooth as it might seem. There's a lot of bumpiness that goes on with this stuff, and it's like I said, it's not easy stuff to do. So we always try to do the neck to neck every practice so that my neck stays conditioned, because nothing sucks more than your neck getting cranked during these kind of workouts. On my hand balancing side, I've seen a tremendous strength increases, especially working these positions I'm doing right now. My goal is to be able to do from a pike position, a press handstand on my canes, and so I've been working these positions that are my weaker spots, basically the negative transition from pulling back into that, and it's not, again, I keep on saying it's not easy because you know what, it's not. It's a lot of strength training, and it's just doing the movements to the point where you get better at it. If you don't do that kind of stuff and work on the things that you find are your weaknesses, then you just don't get through it. And all in all, it's always a good time to train. It's always a good time. I'm always happy to put the training in, but yeah, it's a grind for sure. This is some of the closest times I got to the top of my handstand right there. You see my excitement, but it's still very difficult for me, and I get taxed quite quickly. This is me on the top of my canes. I am doing really slow negatives down just so I can get used to the feeling of that position. This is probably my best negative that I did that day. I did about 5 or 6 of them, and I'm trying to just maintain different positions all the way throughout. In this one, I'm doing like some type of a timed training thing where I'm moving around. So pretty much I was doing 2 minutes of lower body work, moving around just in a squat-like positions, and then every 2 minutes when my timer would go off, I try to go into a handstand. It was just a fun way to end the day, and it wasn't necessarily an easy thing. I sound really funny because I have this in double time. But yeah, it was a challenge. Hope to do it again soon. And I don't know, I thought it was a fun thing to do, but it's a good way to test your endurance for those areas and the ability to do handstands in a chaotic environment. This is me just doing some strength training. I got this one from Fitness FAQs. It's a sliding like pectoral workout, and just trying to do a lot more pec work to get the size of my chest a little bit better. It's always been an area of struggle for me. My lower pec area is pretty good, but my upper pec area tends to struggle, so I can't get that nice cuboidal chest position. Just doing some squats here, like I've done before, trying to do at least a little bit of lower body work since I'm not doing barbell work as much anymore. And then here's some banded chest exercise work I was doing. I actually spent some time doing some posing recently, and I think it's something that if you do any kind of aesthetic work, you should be doing. Not only does it help you to actually grow your muscles because of the amount of tension you're going through, it just gives you an idea of what are the best postures and positions to show off that kind of physique. And it's fun. It's fun to do. I fully appreciate the human body and its beauty, and it's nothing wrong with doing that and finding out how you can express that in many different forms. I don't think it's vain at all. I think it's just another art form of sculpting the body and understanding the positions and, like I said, the beauty of which it holds. So, put on some music and flex for a bit. You might enjoy it. A practice I like to do when I'm reading around the house is I'll do this thing where I do like squatting for a little bit, and then I'll walk around after it. So I squat for about as long as I can until I feel like I'm losing my flexion or falling backward, and then I go into these side-to-side bends. I find it's a great way to put a lot of your squat work in during the day, and you can easily get in 10 minutes worth of squat work through a 30-minute time frame. Just by messing around like that. Right here is a sliding flexibility workout that I do sometimes, and I just put some socks on and go through some different types of flexibility-based positions throughout the training period. Maybe like 10 minutes or so of work like this, and it's a good way for me to open up in the morning and get some strength training and active work in as well. It's helped me a lot with my pike flexibility and my middle split. Especially for aerial work too. So if you ever get a chance to do it, I recommend it. This is some other flexibility work I've been doing too. My bridge has never been that great. The hip extension and overhead part has always been rough for me. And then here's me doing some low bridge work. This is just another way to train bridge work. It's not at all the same, but it's quite a functional thing if you think about it. Lastly, this is Mike K, and he's someone that I work with that really knows some deep foundational stuff with postural realignment exercises and things like that. So he's currently one of my voodoo doctors I go to get work done, and he's had some pretty good progress with me. So if you ever get a chance to go see Mike K, this is his Instagram handle. Get a chance to go out there and work with him if you're having any long-lasting issues. I find that he's really helped with those kind of things. So That's really it. That's a lot of stuff that's been going on over the past month, and I'll get more stuff out there soon. But thanks for watching if you have, and if you have any questions, let me know. I'm always here to answer questions or anything along the way. Hope to see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.